Hi everybody, welcome to Reality Buzz TV. So you guys listen, Hozan, come. Let's talk about this episode of Izingane Zesthembu. It's episode 5, season 2. So you guys listen, I like this episode better than I liked episode 4. It's not that it was so exciting, but it was better than episode 4 because 1, we did not see any children dancing inappropriately in this episode. And I do feel as well that the stories or the storylines are moving forward somewhat, okay? And it just seems like in episodes where we see Uvuyo, we don't see Tirelo. In episodes where we see Tirelo, we're not seeing Uvuyo. I do wonder when the sit-down is going to happen, because I thought it was going to happen this episode, when Tirelo finally has a sit-down with Vuyo. There's a sit-down that happens and then they end up fighting or trying to fight. So listen, you guys. Yay, if only the kids could listen. So now, here we are. They are finishing that scene, Tirelo no Mpulelelo. One thing that I've seen online is that people are saying Tirelo is much better than Uvuyo, because Tirelo is much more peaceful and she's supportive of Mpulelelo, and Mpulelelo loves Tirelo. And I did say last week that I did feel like they communicate easier compared to like Mpulelelo no Tirelo communicates easier than Uvuyo. But I'm not sure if Tirelo really is in a better position. And this episode made it clear for me that Tirelo is actually not in a better position at all. It's just that she doesn't question things as much as Vuyo, and she doesn't express her dissatisfaction and unhappiness with the decisions that are being made as much as Uvuyo. But these two girls are definitely in the same position. They're both not getting a lot of time with Mpulelelo. That is very clear, okay? Their kids are not getting enough time with Mpulelelo. It's very clear, we are seeing it, you know? And Tirelo, I like the fact that even though recently it's been looking like Ngati she is becoming a pick-me, you know, she will support Mpulelelo in whatever she's doing so that she can just be that one that looks like a favorite. I like the fact that in this episode she was honest about how she actually feels like she regrets having a baby, okay? Listen, you guys, every time I am tempted to feel sorry for these girls, I'm getting time to know, you know, why? You know, why waste your energy? Because I really honestly do feel like these girls now, but they were on their game when they got with Mpulelelo, because I feel like if Mpulelelo was not Mselegu, they would not get with Mpulelelo. So they were also on their game. It's just that Mpulelelo ended up playing a better game than them. You know, he's playing them more than they're playing him. So even their pregnancies, you guys, I feel like these girls just felt, guys, I mean, yeah, we can say it was an accident and whatever for them to fall pregnant. I do feel like it was kind of a competition who's going to have a boy first, you know? And they did that intentionally. They were very grown when they had these babies, and they could have prevented themselves from having these babies. And they had these babies because competition maybe corner about who was going to have a boy first. You know, the firstborn son for Mpulelelo, and they rushed for that. And now it's like there's no reward for that. You know, there's no reward for even having Mpulelelo's firstborn son. Nothing. Okay. Now, Tirelo is asking Mpulelelo, listen, it's time for me to go back to school. You made certain promises to me about what was going to happen. You said you were going to get me a nanny because I need to move back to Joburg and all of that. And also, you know, finding a school and all of that. What I got from that conversation was that Tirelo is expecting Mpulelelo to pay for the nanny who would be taking care of a child. So I'm guessing she will be leaving the child back at home, or Mpulelelo would be paying for a nanny back in Joburg, Mpulelelo will be paying for her rent if she's not going to be staying at Res, because I'm not sure where she's studying. And then she will be giving her money for her living expenses. And I sort of kind of feel like she is, or when she's saying I'm supposed to go back to school, almost like Mpulelelo is supposed to take her back to school, which I don't understand. Girl, where are your parents? Apply for NSFAS, because I don't think that Mpulelelo has that money. Now, here is another thing, you guys, that I don't understand. When you are in a relationship with somebody, it doesn't take a long time for you to get a clear picture of their financial situation so that you are realistic about your expectations. So I'm wondering how they are expecting that Mpulelelo is going to pay for the school fees, pay for the expenses, pay for the nanny, take care of the babies, all of that, this and that for all of them. Because even us watching the show, we're not seeing the money. Like, we're not seeing, it doesn't look like Mpulelelo has a lot of money. I do think that with him saying that he's going to go Ayolobola, he's going to probably use the check from the show, okay? But that check, it's unlikely that it's enough to lobola all three of them. So maybe each season is going to be paying a lobola. Also, his priorities are not really, like, he's not prioritizing these girls, and I don't blame him because it's his life, okay? So here's how the conversation goes. Tirelo has already expressed she wants to go back to school, the promise of a nanny and the expenses and all of that. Then Mpulelelo asks her, okay, so are you planning to go back to Joburg? She says, yes, she wants to go back to Joburg. And then she says, listen, what about the expenses of you moving back to Joburg? If you do that, you are going to disturb my plans. Did you guys hear him? You know, it's not our plans, no. If you go back to Joburg, you are going to disturb my plans. I have my plans on what I need to do with my money. And he has a right to do that. Except for the babies, you guys. He has an obligation to take care of the babies, but he has no obligation to take care of those girls. No, not at all. I don't care what anybody says. Mpulelelo is not obligated to take care of these girls. He's obligated to take care of his kids. Okay? So now it's like, listen, I have my own plans. I have things that I want to do with my money. So you going back to school and the nanny and all of that is not in the plan. Okay? So you must study online. Says the person that I think only has matric and doesn't even know the studying online thing, how it works. Okay? Because even if you study online, then you still need a nanny because you still be studying. So you need to study online. Also, I want us all to move to eMzumbe. Guys, remember, we're talking about Mpulelelo's plan, you know. I want you to move back to eMzumbe. Guys, listen, of course, if Bezogane eMzumbe, I expect to see Bazohamba Bayokotisa eMzumbe and all of that. But I wouldn't have expected that all Mpulelelo is expecting those girls to go and live eMagcekeni eMzumbe. Tirelo no vuyo bazohlala eMzumbe. He wants them to go bayohlala eMzumbe, meaning Tirelo will come with the baby ayohlala eMzumbe and then study online. And then that's how he's going to save on the cost, you guys. Now, Tirelo does express, listen, I don't see myself living in eMzumbe. Listen, girl, I don't see you living in eMzumbe too, okay? Because sometimes it does feel like even Oma Kumalo, if they could, they would punyuga by Amadolopin, but they are stuck now in eMzumbe, you know. Now, they do have a conversation about where exactly, because there are houses in eMzumbe, but there's no house that belongs to Mpulelelo. Mpulelelo hasn't built a single house, okay? So it's like, so hlala apha eMzumbe, at your mother's house. And he says, listen, there is a house. Remember, that very, it's a house, but and stuff, and was saying to people that they need to clean it up, and then he needs to finish that house. Selego had said that house belonged to his grandmother, I think, Flo. So they needed to clean Flo's house and then finish it up. That was going to be, Mpulelelo was going to be responsible for that house. Now, there is the house that Mpulelelo is saying Tirelo is going to go and live at. And remember, we haven't seen him do any work at that, with that house. We haven't seen him painting the house, maybe putting furniture in the house. I don't know how the house is looking, but it really was looking bad at the time. It looked like a house that is used as a storeroom of some sort, Luembu, Ingolile, all of that. Tirelo is supposed to go stay there. Okay. So now I'm wondering if Vuyo was cooperating as well. Would that be an expectation that she's also going to go ayohlala eMzumbe? Now, Tirelo does say, you guys, listen, she is not happy in this relationship. From all that she's saying, I feel like she's not happy in the relationship. She says, listen, Mpulelelo has already robbed me of a lot. I think what she means by that is that, obviously she felt pregnant, had to put everything that is her plan on hold, go have a baby back at home. It's possible that her family is helping her with that baby instead of Mpulelelo. So obviously she's feeling, maybe we can say displaced, where she's feeling like this was not my plan. She even says that when she looks at her baby, sometimes she feels like, yo, what an inconvenience. I regretted it for her that she said that, you guys, because I don't think that that's something that you want your child to ever hear, because everything is being recorded. But I did get what she meant by saying sometimes she looks at a baby and be like, what have I done? So now, you guys, of course, Tirelo is just having this thing of, mina eMzumbe, how is that going to work? But I think that she was also trying to have a sort of an open mind to say, how would that work? Where would we live? At your mother's house? How? Okay. But Mpulelelo was scared to say, listen, stay out of my plans, because I have my own plans. Guys, imagine having a baby with somebody that promised you were going to go back to school and get a nanny and everybody, and then you are going to watch him take the money that he has and go pay somebody else's lobola. And while you are busy there struggling. He's going to do that because I guess maybe they won't be struggling, because now with the TV show, they are getting to do other things. If you look at their Instagrams, they do look like they make money from brands as well. But it looks like they will be taking care of their own babies. It doesn't look like Mpulelelo helps a lot, you guys. So she says, listen, stay out of my plans. Because she says, but what is the plan? Remember, you guys, last week she did kind of talk as if she knew about the virgin thing, and I thought it was a lie when she was saying they talk about everything, but no Mpulelelo, like she knew about. I don't think that they knew. I think she just doesn't want to react the same way as Vuyo, but I don't think that she knew. So she says, let's talk about the virgin thing, the fact that you say that you want to marry a virgin. She says, imagine, guys, in a relationship where you are in a relationship, but there are things in the relationship you are in that will be taking place as things will be taking place in your relationship, but the person is saying, that is not, what is it in English? That is not your concern. That is none of your business. In your relationship, the thing is going to be happening in your relationship, but it's none of your business. Hi, and then again, Tirelo was just expressing was, listen, it's very painful. It's very painful what he is doing, Mpulelelo. But I don't know, you guys. I guess she was using a different strategy to getting the answers from Mpulelelo instead of doing the whole family meeting and all of that. She was hoping maybe one-on-one she's going to get the answers, but she didn't get any better answers than Vuyo did. Because it's like, stay out of my business. That is my business. That is my plan. And he has a right to say that, to do that, you guys. The only thing is that this looks like these girls are just baby mamas, and he's no longer in relationships with them. That's how it looks like. It looks like baby mamas that he's no longer in relationships with, but they have like sort of a relationship to parent their child, which even that, I don't know how it's going, okay? But there's no love there. There's no kindness. There's no consideration. I usually say when I review Umnawethu that women are disregarded That's what's happening here, you know. Their thoughts, their feelings, they don't matter. They themselves don't matter in that relationship. But if they want to stay, they can stay. And we are going to watch them being disrespected and disregarded and not being considered, because I feel like they're intelligent enough to make a different decision, but they are not making that decision. Then she ends up asking, guys, it depends. Like, if utando is words, then utando definitely sakhona. You know, if I had to answer for her, I would say, if your definition of love is words, then utando sakhona. But if your definition of love is action, then utando alsekhola. Because it's just things that you wouldn't do to somebody that you love. But okay, you guys, she said she asked that question because sometimes she feels like akamthandi Mpulelelo and akamnakile. This is for those that were saying Mpulelelo spends more time with Tirelo. Akamnakile. She said that herself. That's why I said I appreciated the honesty from Tirelo in this episode. She says akamnakile. So I feel like sometimes akamthandi. So I'm asking this question because honestly I do want to know lusa khona inothando. Mpulelelo says the fact that I'm here means ukuthi uthando lusakhona. So basically, ukuthi ufika once a week, not once a week, why am I being generous? Ukuthi ufika once a year when they are shooting a season of the show, that means uthando lusakhona. And she's complaining about the long distance. Mpulelelo is like, but that would all be solved if you went back home. Okay, I think Tirelo also did mention to say, but I think that even with him, Mpulelelo, it's not like he would want to leave eMzumbe. It's just that the situation right now forces him to go back home and live at home. But now he wouldn't. If he had choices, he wouldn't leave eMzumbe. So how come we have to go back to hlala eMzumbe? And she makes a decision to say, listen, you guys, what am I gonna do? I just have to live my life. She had done a live earlier on, you guys, and they were asking about, first they had asked about this episode. She had said, listen, this episode, you guys will find out how I feel about the virgin thing, which we do find out. And then she also had said that somebody had asked, are you back at school? And she said yes. So I guess she did go ahead and go back to school. But she's with her son-in-law. So I'm guessing that maybe she moved back to Joburg with her son and maybe got somebody to take care of her son. I'm not sure about that, you guys, but it looks like she is back at school. So listen, you guys, nobody is obligated to put you in their plan, in their life plan. Nobody, you know. And you have to be careful to not make a person the main character in your life plans, because for all you know, you are like a support character in his plans or in his story. You know, we extra in his story, and when in your story you've made them the main character, because Tirelo has made Mpulelelo a hero that is going to come and pay for everything, move her back to Joburg, pay for her school fees, the nannies, the whatever. Mpulelelo is like, listen, I have other plans. If you want to be part of these plans, come eMzumbe, uhlala eMzumbe. Now and then I'll be able to see you. Make it easy for me to see you, basically. That's what he's saying. You know, so I like that. Tirelo is not taking the bait and being like, okay, let me just go. Because so intombazana be like, hey, eMzumbe. Uzowenzani eMzumbe? And eMzumbe, everyone is busy. Basebenza abantu shooting the show, all of that. Guys, can you imagine this gets eMzumbe? Anyway, you guys, thank you so much for watching this video. This is going to be first part of the review. I'll do the other video in another video. Thank you so much for watching this review. Please like it before you share it with your friends, with your family, and even with strangers. Cool.